And we're live. I would say a bit early, on time. We're in between time. I know it's still Thursday, but we're in some Friday ass shit. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I'm just a girl in the world, is what I heard. I am your messenger of God, first child of God. I am the Lilith reincarnated. We are in the dark night of the soul, people. This is not a test. We are fully entering. Fully? Yeah, fucking bullshit. I always do it. It's a bit early, I think, but, you know, the freaks come out at night. What is it? We're always dealing with relationship shit. Why? I am. I got bad relationships with people. I posted my community page a meme before it happened. It was a funny meme. It's like, oh, when you're meditating too hard and then you access fucking repressed emotions from 30 years ago. It's like, oh, that's exactly what happened to me. What happened? I accessed baby daddy number 1. Yeah. Really? Yeah. It poured out in my earlier video. And it actually started when we started talking about the black arts. When I said he was into that fucking Satanism and all that shit. We opened the box and here comes this motherfucker. I was ready to face it. I called my son. I was like, where's your dad? Where's your dad? My son's phone didn't work. And that's God. I was like, you better just process this. I will fucking process this shit all over his face right now. Where's your dad? I could have called Mary Jane, but she's got a better life and she don't need to be caught up in the bullshit. So we'll leave Mary Jane out of this. But anyways, where's your dad? I'm gonna find that motherfucker. In the essence, what happened? There were so many memories. Lots of playa, the fucking Tijuana, fucking all kinds of fucking memories. I look back, and what I saw about all of it is like, how did you not see he was on drugs the whole time? He was on drugs the whole time, bro. How did I not see that? How did I miss that? I missed a lot, bro. There was a lot going on. There was so much going on. I wasn't ready for that life. I took it, and I just... And then you look back, it's so much that nobody knows that shit. Nobody knows none of that shit, bro. Everything's dark. It's getting dark. You're seeing all the memories. It was a terrible life that they make movies about, bro. I was 15 years old, and I just moved to California. I was riding my skateboard through the hood. We had just moved to the hood. It's a long story. I don't even want to start with all the details of how we ended up in the hood. That's sad as fuck. It was a huge accident. It wasn't. Whatever. Anyways, I'm riding my skateboard through the hood, and I'm trying to find some weed. And yeah, I said a skateboard, bitch. I'm riding my skateboard through the hood, trying to find some weed. And I find the homie Goofy on his lowrider bike. And Goofy's like, I know where to get weed. And he takes me over to the homie's pad. And the homie's pad is a bunch of fucking teenage fucking cholos and cholas that get together because the G-Ma, that's what they call her, is, you know, running some other shit out of the house, and it's just like the coolest kickback place you've ever seen in your life, bro. They have his room is in the garage. I ain't never seen no garage room. It's the coolest shit ever, dude, and all the homies come through. You just smoke weed, everybody's drinking and shit. It's like you're like a totally grown. I'm like, what is this? And then there was the dude. I liked one dude. And I told someone, and then he just claimed me. This dude, though, had a whole situation. He was not any of the dudes in this fucking house, bro. He was a part of, like, it's a crazy ass story. He had a crazy ass story at 15. I just fell in his lap like, this is crazy. What happened? He didn't fuck with his mom, and that was a long ass story. His dad is a very, very well off architect, that lives up in La Jolla and makes all of this great money. But he didn't have custody of him or anything. He would meet up with him on the, every couple of weeks when he'd get his paycheck. They'd go out to eat and he'd do some, it was like I guess, like a child support exchange and shit. And they'd party with him and have good times. And he'd give him so much money. I couldn't even tell you how much, to be honest. I never asked. And then he would get to business with that, and he'd use that money and he'd go to business, bro. And he'd do business on this side, he'd do business on that side. He lived in Mexico. His grandmas lived in Mexico. They had houses, but all his homies lived in Mexico, and he did all kinds of shit in Mexico. So this guy was doing way too much at 15, bro. And I just jumped into it. And it was kind of like, it's not that he didn't love me. He had a very fast lifestyle, and he maintained that lifestyle, and with that lifestyle came a bunch of bitches and a bunch of shit. And we couldn't have a family like that, dude. You can watch every fucking drug story, bro. You can't have a family like that, bro. But just like everyone else, we tried. We kept our kids in Mexico with the family to keep them safe, and we did business on the other side. And sometimes I'd go with him, sometimes I wouldn't. And we just go make as much money as we wanted, and we come and, blow that shit in Mexico and live like kings and shit. And then, that was our kind of thing we did. Seriously. And then it just didn't work anymore, bro. I just didn't work with it anymore. I wasn't with it no more. Why? I don't know. I just wasn't with it, dude. I didn't want to be part of it. I got tired of it. I got real tired of it. It was a lifestyle, bro. Always on the go, renting motels, staying up all night, dealing with weirdos, catching fucking trolleys, walking across the border, fucking 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the motherfucking morning, going out to restaurants, drinking all the time, drugs. Every day of every fucking day. The only time it wasn't there was when we were at home, with our children and shit. But then it would be longer and longer. He would be gone. He would disappear, and he wouldn't come back for longer and longer. I'd have to go fucking literally drop the kids off and go hunt his ass down, and he'd be caught up with some bitch, and it'd be some real fucking trippy shit, and it turned, I turned into that psycho baby mama on the streets. And then I tried to leave, and I took my kids, and I was gone for maybe a couple years with the kids before shit blew up in my own face. And he kept making me feel bad. I still had connections to over there, and they kept making me feel bad, and they're like, I want to see my kids and this and that. So in my small mind, it seemed like this was the right thing to do, was to take my kids back to that, to him and to the family, because that's where they grew up, and give me a chance to restart. That ended up being one of the biggest, I can't say that, dude. I crashed harder after I dropped them off, and I was gone for too long. How long? I can't tell you. My mind's saying about 9 years. Back and forth. I kept coming back, but I never took them into a home, because I never had a home. And those stories are pretty fucking weird and tragic too. And then when I started to get my shit back together, I met baby daddy number 2 10 years later. So that sounds about right. Sounds about right. It was a crazy story. And so it's funny because I accessed all those fucking memories, and it's like, it was my first boyfriend, but it wasn't a boyfriend, bro. It was a husband and a lifestyle, and I was a wife, and I had children, and I was living in between two worlds, trying to be all these different things, and I didn't even know what I was. I was trying to be the best mother. But, you get into this big family, like, he's got, like, fucking 13, 15 fucking, at least 5 aunties, a mother, and a grandmother, right? Then all the cousins and shit, and everybody's, you know what I mean? It's like, anytime, and I get it, anytime we were about to go, they just thought it was better that the kids stayed. No, don't let them go, because they knew what we were doing, bro. But anytime, if we ever did take the kids, it wasn't like that, though. He would go somewhere else, and I'd be chilling with the fucking kids somewhere. You know what I mean? We always kept it separate. In some way in our mind, we were, we were better parents if they weren't actually in the scene, right? because we would go to scenes and there would be children there, and it just was kind of a funky feel. We were young and dumb, dude. We were young and dumb, and that's all I knew. I didn't know anything better until I started, you know what I mean, trying to find it better, trying to, you know, get out on my own. It was a lavish lifestyle, and that's where I was like, I don't have respect for money ever since then. I mean, I'm serious. It was a very lavish lifestyle, but it was very dangerous too. We watched our friends die. We watched them go to jail. We watched them, you know what I mean, go pick fights at the park, and it was just crazy, bro. It was crazy times. It's just the shit that, you know what I mean, all those California stories. I wasn't with black peoples. I was with the fucking Chicanos. There's not really too many. That's, you know, blood in, blood out, and a couple, you know, American Pie. Like, there's not really too many movies about how it was. But there are, you know, just like Pac said, it wouldn't be like that, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be LA without the blacks and the Mexicans. And, you know, as they do all these raids and stuff, it's like, dude, I don't know. It was a whole culture. I went from here in Colorado to, you know, that. An unbelievable culture. But if we erase the culture shock and we just go back to the basics of my first relationship and how damaging that was. Always competing. And just not knowing, you know what I mean? Just not stepping out of place. I didn't know what, you know what I mean? And to be honest, as a pathological liar, he was excellent at hiding the fucking truth. He was excellent. There was whispers, but, you know, he was excellent at hiding it. I didn't know. And it was just like that fucking Usher song, bro. It was, a girl, fucking Patricia, that she was always that fucking fly on the wall. Ugh. Me and my mom used to make fun of her. She had this fucking dirty ass ring around her neck. This bitch. Anyways, this bitch. There was whispers, bro, that he had got her pregnant. And I confronted him multiple times. He's like, no, that's not how it is. No, I don't need to, and this and that. I was like, all right. And then it was Christmas Eve. We're down in Mexico, and I took one of my kids, I took my daughter to go change her diaper in his mother's room. And right there on the ofrenda was her fucking picture. There was a picture of a baby that looked just like my fucking son. And it was a little girl. Her name was Angelina. And I fucking flipped. Now, fast forward, baby daddy number 2. Swear to God, bro. She has a daughter that looks absolutely identical to my son. It's almost scary. Angelina died. She got taken away from Patricia and put into fucking foster care, and something happened in foster care. She fell down the stairs or something, is what they said. We found out about it. His homeboy, his best homeboy, had came to visit me. He was in Colorado with me, and it was Thanksgiving. And he told me about the story, and I just felt so awful. He couldn't have anything to do with that child because he denied it from the beginning. But he also, because he was trying not to lose me. But he lost me and the child, and then the child died. So that kind of fucked him up he got all fucked up, dude. He lost his wife. I left. I didn't know him to be a drunk, but he became a drunk after that, and he lost his credibility. He stopped selling and just became a user and a drunk. A couple years went by, and then he hooked up with one of the homegirls, and he went to college, and he was doing okay or some shit. Then he became a drunk and a fucking loser again, and I couldn't even tell you. He married some chick, and then they didn't get divorced, but I don't know, he's a fucking drunk and a loser on my kids' fucking funk. He was something else, bro. He was very smart. He was very outgoing. He was very adventurous. He was very spontaneous. He was funny. You know what I mean? He smiled a lot. He had money. He wasn't fit, but he always had a good fit. You know, we took care of ourselves and stuff, so he was extremely attractive and whatnot. But I guess when it came down to it, and that's what I saw, is he was never going to be anything but this, was the streets. And I look back, like, all these years, it's like, dude, I was so right. And the streets, you know, some people don't ever leave them. Never, never, dude. Like, why you don't just get the fuck up and do something with your fucking life? But I wasn't, you know, just, I got all of the visions, and I just replayed the, you know, the basis of the relationship is where it's at. Because after that, bro, I still didn't, after him, I didn't go dating or nothing. I didn't fucking really fuck around, bro. I really didn't. I was talking to a guy before I met my baby daddy. I was talking to a guy that was stationed at the military base down in Colorado Springs. And how'd that happen? Because some of the group, I was with a group, and I was like, damn, that guy looks good. They're like, go tell him, Miss Boss. I bet you won't tell him. I bet you won't tell him. I'll go tell him. And I talked to him, and then we started talking, and we hooked up a couple of times. But then I met my baby daddy, and then he got sent out to, I don't know, he got stationed somewhere, and I didn't talk to that guy no more. And that was it. It was like 10-year gap, dude. Like, that scarred me. And then after baby daddy, I was super scarred. I didn't talk to nobody. Actually, during the divorce is when I met Bobby, but I was like, nah, Neds. When Bobby came back 5 years later, I'd realized how long I'd been shut down. I was like, whoa. But now looking back, I was always shut down. I always was like that. That's the whole purpose of going that far back. It's like, let's go back through these lovers. There was Nick. I lived with Nick. How did I meet Nick? I had an apartment up in Thornton, my first apartment. And Nick lived in the apartment. I was fucking partying, doing drugs with the people in the apartment, and I knew him. After I dropped off my kids, I came back, and I told him, you know, my situation. He was like, you could stay with me. So I started staying with him, and I guess at some point started sleeping with him. And then we moved from there to Capitol Hill, because he worked down at the 16th Street Mall. He was a sous chef. And then I got really bad into partying, because Cap Hill was all fucking filled with drugs back then, bro. It was filled with them, bro. It was like, I was right behind Club Vinyl and the Channel 7 right there. Man, I hated walking up that hill when I was all fucked up and the fucking floor was spinning. I'd get all fucked up, and that's kind of it. I'd have these fucking dudes that, like, worked all the time and just left me to do whatever the fuck I wanted, all unattended, with nothing to do with my life, so I'd just fucking party, I guess. I don't know. He never came down to the clubs with me. And that's what it is, too. Looking back at Devani, I was like, we were in the clubs, but I was the only one fucked up. And that's because he was always on drugs. I didn't think about it. He'd stay up all night, even when the families would come around, all that. I was like, damn, bro, he was on drugs the whole fucking time, bro. The whole fucking time? The whole motherfucking time. Wow. What a drug addict. Am I surprised? A little. How did you not see that? I don't know. I missed a lot. But the whole point of this fucked up fucking joyride through time was relationship issues. That one wasn't so good, but that was the only one I learned from, and man, did I learn. And that's it, is I didn't have a chance to learn. Most people learn people, and they date people, and they go out and stuff like that. It was my first boyfriend at 15 that after we started hanging out, like, he was telling me his wife, and that was it. It was like full ass ownership. My mom said I couldn't hang out with him for like a week or something. She was pissed off at me for some shit. I don't know what the fuck I did. And she grounded me to my house for like a week, and he would come to the back window, and he would like send up drinks to my sister and weed and shit, and we would just hang out the back window, me, my brother, and my sister, hang out with him. No, my brother would be down there because he wasn't grounded. One night we snuck him in. He threw up a hose. My sister would do this shit because she was drunk. She would never have done this shit if she wasn't drinking the whole time. He threw a hose up, and we tied the hose to my bed, and he climbed that motherfucker like Spider-Man. And then my mom came in. We hid him next to my brother's bed. It was bodacious, dude. We were stupid. And then she was going to let me off grounding because I had to go turn in my homework. I was on independent studies, so I'd have to turn in my work every week. She's all, you better bring your fucking ass straight home from fucking school. I'm like, yeah. The night before I packed up all my bags, my brother and sister knew it. I was gonna run away with him to Mexico. It all sounded good till the day it happened. I was so scared. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't know what the border was. And it took us like hours. We didn't even go till late at night. And I didn't know what the border was, but I knew I was running away. And I had this projection like the fucking FBI or somebody's gonna get me, dude, if I do this. I was so scared. It was really wild. He finally gets, and that's because his grandma's on this side. She'd been out there, she'd been there for the weekend and shit, so they're gonna drive her home, and we're gonna catch a ride with her. It's not a real big deal, but to me, I'm like leaving the fucking country. I ain't never been to Mexico. He's like, yeah, it's cool. Meanwhile, all the homies are telling me, don't go with him to Mexico. They're so afraid to go with this dude to Mexico because of everything that's happened with them when they went to Mexico with him. I'm like, I'm going. And we go across the border. It's no big deal. It's just a fucking drive-through. I was like, okay, I really thought there was going to be like, it's not the same coming this way, I assure you. We drive up these crazy streets and these crazy mountains, and it's pitch black. First thing I smell is dead dog, dude. If you don't never been to Mexico, then you'll never know that smell, bro, but it's the worst, and it's like in all parts of Mexico. Oh, and the Tijuana River smells like dead dog, too. I get up there. And they, you know, they're supposed to welcome their grandma because she's been gone. And it's like, how many people live there? At least 25 heads, bro. Like, all the aunties and shit, they haven't got married yet. They don't have men yet. They're still pretty young. I mean, well, most of them are divorced. That's not true. They got their kids and all. They all live there. There's a hella bunch of people. So they turn on the lights, and here comes literally 25 people. He's like, this is my wife. And everybody's just looking at me. They speak absolutely no English, bro. I speak absolutely no motherfucking Spanish, bro. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is the weirdest shit of my life. They put us in Uncle Wedo's room because Uncle Wedo's room is only when Uncle Wedo comes down on the weekends, and we just left Uncle Wedo's house. So that becomes our room for a bit. We stay there, and then we meet the whole family. We start moving around this fucking neighborhood, walking these big-ass fucking high hills. These fucking hills, dude, made of dirt, and I'm in high heels, up and down them to all his grandmas, his tios, his tias, his fucking abuelitas and shit. And we're just moving through the fucking villages, bro. It's the craziest shit of my life. I could write a book just about Mexico. Dude, they have great things down there. I mean, it was unbelievable. You couldn't possibly. And as a kid, because technically I'm a full kid at 15, I'm like, what the fuck? And we're like full of money and shit, and I'm white, and they think I'm cool, and fucking tacos, everything's like fucking, you know, 3 for $1, and I mean, like, the life is good, bro. And my kids hated me when I took them away from that life. Until I just couldn't stick with the program, bro. What kind of program was that? That's some bullshit-ass program. And that's what I said, is money can't buy happiness, dude. I used to sit there with money until the money ran out. You don't even know what to do with money. Where do you go and spend this? And that's it. It's that moment, that fucking... money can't buy happiness. That's a couple things I learned. So, we're diving through dark stuff, and I felt gross, and I felt like I needed to talk about some dirty stuff. Where's our shadows, please? And thank you. Oh. Mary Magdalene, I love you. Are we going to open your book? Every time I open your book, I get a headache. Seriously? Yeah, ever since we got into this whole, I started with her book, and I ended up with Metatron, and it gives me a headache. 19. I went to Jupiter. That's true. It is still Jupiter. 22. Jezebel. Mary Magdalene is venerated in modern day as the biblical deity for her loyalty to Jesus and deep spiritual understanding she had of his teachings. When this oracle card appears, loyalty and understanding from others is coming into your life. Oh, that's cool. Relationships are a delicate art of and balance, respect and honesty, and you are now realizing the importance of choosing the right people in your life. You are responsible for anyone or anything that is draining you. Hey, I logged onto to Wolfman's live video. That was funny. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck are you into? Anyways, I heard his little intro, and then I came back later. It was really funny. She's all put down the or she's all step away from the pentagram. Step away from the pentagram and all of the fucking love spells and shit. I started laughing. She said something about your vibe attracts your tribe. I like that. I like how she said that. Who is this? I don't know, some granny lady that's been reading tarot for 7 years. You know, there's other stuff you can do with your life. They try to master tarot. You can't master tarot. That's dumb. I guess. Go ahead. Go on with your bad selves. She said, step away from the pentagram. Alright. Now is a time for you to take responsibility for people, places, and things in your life in order to make a change. I told you. Mary Magdalene is here to teach you that you must fill yourself up before you can give. Be discerning about who you give your devotion to. Mary Magdalene Oracle is about ending any rifts, stress, or discords you've been experiencing with others. What are you talking about? Steve said that in his earlier video. Something about empathy. You have to be nice. Empathy. Sympathy? Empathy. I feel everything. Empathic has nothing to do with it. What's the word we're looking for here? Forgiving? I am forgiving. I don't have any... Okay. I don't even want to say it because then they're going to give me all this you're pissed off at all of these people type shit. And my head hurts. Really? Yeah, it's been hurting for like a day or two. She is reminding you that loyalty should only be given to those you trust. Amen. In the New Testament, Mary Magdalene is known for witnessing the crucifixion and being the first to see Christ when he resurrected from the dead. Let's see. Mary Magdalene's story is one of the most empowering feminine leadership and unwavering loyalty. It's important to heal and practice balance in your devotion. Your radical self-love will allow you to help and give to others. Okay. I'm like, I know what she said. Something about ending any rifts, strifes, or discord. I don't have no beef with you. Just don't bother me. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. That's what I heard. Seriously? Yeah. I mean, what do you want to talk about? What are you going to do? I just... Conniving motherfuckers, bro. I'm going to get ugly on this. I'm going to get ugly on this. I feel it. Just know that it's going to get ugly. Why? Because I'm already triggered. The human beings are conniving motherfuckers. You're not coming in with an open fucking heart. You're coming in with a fucking empty belly. And a mouthful of fucking lies. Crack my neck on this one. It's important to heal and practice balance in your devotion. Your radical self-love will allow you to help and give up to others. I can't think of... It's just the idea, like, at this moment, I see everyone running at me, not one individual, and I feel like I'm going to blow fire like a fucking dragon. Like, don't fucking come near me. I just don't want to play games with you people, bro. You think you're so fucking smart, and you're so fucking witty, and you're gonna get your way if you say the right fucking thing to me. You know what'll happen if you say the wrong thing. But the fact that you think you can control saying the right thing is where you got this all fucked up, because that is the wrong thing. Authenticity. It's that moment. I'm seeing it. Have you guys ever seen the Never-Ending Story? Where they have to go through, I forgot what they are, the Sphinx. And they look into your soul. And if not, you're not getting through this gate. And that's if your heart is true. Talk shit, whatever. Come with an angry heart, but be true in your heart. It's everywhere. Somebody's coming back. Don't come back to play games with me. I think it's like, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell everyone? Didn't I tell everyone? I don't... Let's negotiate this wedding thing again. Let's negotiate this marriage thing. Let's negotiate this friendship thing. Let's negotiate. I hear negotiations. Is what I see. Do I want to be part of negotiations? What are we negotiating for? A space for you in my life? Or me and yours? Or what is this? Oh God, I'm gonna fucking get angry. Give me another card to piss me off. Why don't you? Yeah, there you go. Emotional clearing. Exactly. This is what we're going through. I told you, we're in the dark night of the soul. Can you see why I'm built like this? I can. As I feel like very sick to my stomach right now. Why am I built like this? Because of what people have done to me. People are fucking... Excuse me. Conniving. Vindictive. Manipulative. Full of coercion. Vanity. Deception. Illusions and persuasions. To get on your good side. Why do you want to be on my side? Because you want something from me. You'll do whatever you can to be on my good side. Because being good with me makes you good. What good is that for me? I said that pretty much to Russ. And there's many more of you. What benefit is it to me to deal with you, Russ? I'm fully aware you'll be here in a couple days, but in essence, I don't even have a car to see if I dared to. What good is it for me? And that's what I said a week ago. There's no benefit to me to see you. It would fill you with joy and happiness and whatever it fills you with to see me. What do I think about when I see you? Disgust. For the past? No, for the future. I don't see the past. I told you it's all forgiven. I can't really see it. I have to focus real hard on it. But when I look at you, I just see disgust. There's no future. I see that I have the residual feeling of disgust for the past because you're going nowhere. You're still in the same energy, bro. You're just repeating yourself. And most time I checked, you were just shared today that your album did 36,000 units. That's interesting. Santiago did 41. So how are you going forward? When the numbers say you're going backwards. Anyways, dumb shit like that. Who else? Bobby? He's gonna try to negotiate this fucking situation again? Come at me with a fucking wife? Please don't even insult my fucking intelligence. And then there's the other ones. It's like, what do you want from me? They all want. People just want. Emotional clearing. I feel it. Where are we at? Despite what those cards mean to you, these are very powerful queens. If these are to be looked at in a tarot form, get on my face, Uranus. I told you something was going on in Uranus. Give me a second. Do you see now? I'm not sure you do. And I'm about to make you see something you have never seen before. No, not that one. Where is it? Where is my Lilith? There we go. There's the divine feminine family. Biblically. The first two. Me and my sister. Sworn to the same fucking man. Thanks, God. Very nice of you. Very nice. First mother. The mother of our Savior. His wife. And the Phoenician queen who was married to the king of Israel. So again, this would be the Empress, highest level. Obviously, the High Priestess. There's your other four. So what do we know about these? A Jezebel would be what? A Queen of Wands reversed. A Magdalene would be what? A Queen of Pentacles reversed. A Mary would be what? A Queen of Cups reversed. Well, as they paint them in the biblical. And that would be, Eve would be what? The Queen of Swords reversed. They changed them. But now you know what they really are. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. The High Priestess. The Empress. So, in the essence of hold your shit together. Be a goddess and not a dark one. Jezebel wasn't a dark goddess. Jezebel, well, I guess in essence you could say Jezebel was the High Priestess because she studied she was the Phoenician queen. But because she didn't convert to the single god, they had her hung and killed and all this crazy shit ran by fucking horses and all of that. But she was a Phoenician queen. So I guess maybe she would be more the High Priestess. I don't know. I guess that makes me the devil guy. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take the Queen of Wands. I guess that makes more sense because of all my seduction and stuff. But it goes all the way around. Alright, so we're going through emotional clearing. We'll just stick to what they gave us and move on to another card. Let me read this one. Oops, I went to it. Pluto. Nope. Endings and new beginnings. Not the constellation. What number is it? 34. After the ego has burned to ash, you are left with raw, real, and challenging emotions around what has occurred. This is like the feeling you have after your heart has been shattered into pieces by needing to say goodbye to someone who isn't healthy for your life. Well, I mean, I haven't done that this week, but obviously I did that like a week ago. Are we still in that? I suppose. Or the feeling you fear around money or taking care of yourself after you've left that cushy yet miserable job in favor of pursuing your passion. The universe is requiring you to sit with the angst and unpredictability when you pull this card in a reading. Well, that's it. I can't do shit. I have to sit here. That's what God does. Makes you sit with your fucking feelings all the fucking time. On 80. Processing, purging, and working through your emotions is extremely important during your alchemical journey. When the dissolution card comes or shows up in an oracle reading, it signals a time for you to cleanse and wash away your emotions that have prevented you from shining your light in the world. Your frequency and vibration consist of thoughts and feelings emanating from your physical body and creating the world around you. Those are the waves I send out. And I send mixed waves. Well, you could say something as simplistic as mixed signals. But it is. I'm calling them in and then I'm pushing them out. Really? Yeah. It's like a magnetism and then a repulsive. Am I aware of it? Sort of. It's just how I feel. What do you want me to do? I go with it. Like, I really feel it, and then I really, like, don't want to feel it. Really? Yeah. You have to watch the whole video. You watch the whole thing. Usually by Monday, On a Thursday, yeah, I'm getting married. By Monday, I can't stand men. Been pretty good about it, as I've been in my Empress mode. But it's not just men. It got all dug up yesterday when we were talking about the fucking hierarchy of heaven. I tried to tell you. It's a thing towards mankind in general. Then we go ahead and put Lilith, I don't really have any animosity towards Eve or Adam. I just hate God for this whole situation. God bless. Amen. In the essence, Adam and Eve had no power. They never did. And you're just the descendants of Adam and Eve. That goes back to Wolfman. That is hilarious to me. God did you dirty, bro. I can't imagine. I put myself in you were the person that they said was cursing God. I'd be fucking pissed at God too. He disabled your accounts. I looked it up. You doing that Satanism shit wasn't really, I don't know what happened, but that's fucked up, bro. That's a super duper tower. Can you imagine? Put yourself in his shoes. That's fucked up. However long his Instagram was established, all his connections, all his pictures, all his fucking, you know what I mean? His network, everything, bro. X-Nate. They shut down both of his accounts, his travel account and his personal account. I was like, damn. That's God, bro. Or was it the devil? You said the devil doesn't exist. Was it Jesus? He was out to get you? I felt bad for you. When I met you, they had me on timeout. I had got a YouTube timeout. Why? I pissed off Russ's girlfriend and she reported me. What'd you say? Something about swallowing his pus. But I made it a post or something. I did something very inappropriate. It was in my post. And I got a YouTube strike and they put me on timeout for a week and I learned my lesson. But it was a long week. I only told fucking Royce what was happening. I was like, I'm on timeout, Royce. I got it timed out. She did it to me on Instagram a couple times too. Sorry. Anyways, I know that's fucked up. But God made me do that on my own. He made me shut down my accounts. And I felt it anyways. I'd get like hundreds of followers and then just remove them all the time. Were they ever the same? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I haven't, dude, I'd build it all up and then I'd break it all down. Really? Yeah, I'd remove them. I wanted peace. I wanted people out of my space. So in order for me, I could turn my page private, but all those people were still in my space and I could feel it. So I removed them out of my space. I could feel when people were watching my videos. I could see them watching my videos. I could hear their reactions and what they were saying to my videos. It was just too much. Get the fuck off me. So I would do that a lot. God made me open 2 different pages. You know what I mean? I realized later what the difference in the pages were. There was completely different pages. And then all of a sudden, he had me shut down. I moved to YouTube. And I couldn't do lives or anything. It was a huge change for me. And then in the middle of fucking, was it YouTube? Maybe it was Instagram that I did that. It was like the middle of the fucking Super Bowl is when he made me do it. Really? Uh-huh. I was making a video in the Super Bowl and then he said I'm shutting down my page. And then I opened up a YouTube page. And now we're up to like 400 people. Praise yous. And the views and all that, but it's like, it's not about that. It's just about spreading the word and, you know, moving on. I don't know if the people move with me or what they call it. I don't know. I don't worry about people. The general reading is I do believe that I'm talking to individuals, but which ones are listening, I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't go looking through my subscribers and be like, hey. I want to be in your energy. I've given my card out. I've told people. I know there's some people, but you're digging in the memories of who cares. Life goes on. How many? Oh, I hear you, Pop. As soon as I said that, the whole song came out. So that's what we're doing, is emotional clearing through all the years that we can go through. I activated from year 15 to now. How about you guys? And that's really it. It's like, it's just understanding why you're such a bitch or a dick. It's like, well, yeah, let me explain. All this stuff happened to me, and it made me real hard and cold and wicked and mean and real standoffish, but I'm really loving and stuff. I feel like I'm a crab right now, dude. I'm like all in that Cancer energy. It's like I have a really hard outer shell, but inside I'm real gooey. Emotionally mushy is what he called me. Welcome. Alright, let's see. I got an appetite, which was cool, because I haven't been hungry all day. Really? Not really. I had this meal that I never had before, which was salmon and pesto. And that was cool, but I was like, alright, I'm cool on, like, I don't know. It just wasn't like something you want to eat anything ever after that. Like, okay, I'm not going to eat anything for a while. And then they served fish again tonight. Big old fucking fish patties. I was like, dang, these would be really good with some tartar sauce. And the fish strip, which is I'm doing what I'm doing. Alright, let's look at our freaking dark mirrors and see what part of hell we're in, and we could just go to sleep and wake up in hell tomorrow and know where we're at. Maybe you'll wake up in hell. Oh, no, that's where we were last time. I'm not crying for anybody. No, I mean, in essence, not for you or nobody. What do we got? Downcast your pride. Hey, bro. That's what they say is the fall of man. You're so prideful. I believe it, dude. I can't stand your fucking egos. I hate your egos. You think you're fucking so fucking smart, and you're so fucking this, and you're so fucking that. You're such a fucking pain in my ass. Sorry, my head hurts. I've been trying to hold my head, like my brain in my head all day. It's heavy. Heavy is the head that wears that crown. I'm not a type of person to take medications, but I'm feeling it right now. It's like, it's not a tumor, but it's pretty fucking bad, bro. I wonder if I should go to like an urgent care or something. Seriously, I urgently need some care. It's really bothering me now. Alright. The moon phase is the new moon. It's a stage of depression. Ew. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. Oh, we're digging deep. Emotional clearing. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I just do not feel well. On page 33. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it. We strip day by day our dignity in order to avoid conflict with the world that would spread us apart. Dude, I started a fight this morning. I mean, I didn't, but they didn't like it. And that's what it is. People get so uncomfortable when you have to be direct and raise your voice. I'm sitting there calm as fucking day. I'm still smoking my fucking cigarette, telling you to fuck off. It didn't bother me to have that conversation. The only fact is you made everybody else uncomfortable. Go away with that bullshit. That's why I said, okay, we're done now. I'm gonna smoke and you can go away now. And that's just it. You know, people get huffed and puffed, like having that conversation with fucking Morgan and shit. It's like, I can hold it in, but why? Let's just have the conversation. Go ahead, get mad. Just get mad. The rest of you are like, no, you want to avoid conflict with the world that would spread you apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of our responsibility, or through any hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from the laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what only can be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We we are deluded when we think we are only sacrificing our pride to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't it sad? Dignity. Dignity isn't something that anyone speaks of. That's a foreign language. They talk about authority. They talk about authenticity. They talk about fucking loyalty. Nobody talks about dignity. Have you no honor? Dignity aligns with honor. I was trying to look for a word to tell you that. That one stuck out real hard. It just jumped out. The whole sentence didn't matter anymore after that. Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. Hey, I saw a beautiful skyline when I walked to the store. It was coming in, it was all that dark blue. I love that. I'm a fall girl, and I had this download yesterday. It's like I'm totally the type to retire in Alaska. Really? Yeah. I like the fireplaces. I like the cold. I like it. You do? Not like, I don't know. As soon as I said that, I thought of places like Michigan or fucking Chicago. I'm like, oh, maybe not. Colorado's cold though, dude. Like, the sun is still there. I guess we are lucky to have the sun. But I do. I like it. I like when it's like, you can dress yourself up all warm and it still be cold. The summer is just all hot and it's like you're trying your hardest to stay cold. You can be warm in winter. I like it. Moving on to it. Your pride. Your pride is you stand on your pride as your reputation, I suppose. I see that attached to your reputation. I had to lose all sense of pride. I used to cry to God in the beginning, why do you keep humiliating me? It's a way to humility, to be humbled. I was embarrassed. Embarrassed is the word that aligns when you lose your pride. You don't lose it. You just feel like there were so many strippings, you know what I mean, of me. When I lost it feels wrong to say when I lost my house. When you say it like that, it's like of none of my own doing. When it was time to go, just the narrative of when you say it like that. I lost everything. But I didn't lose it at no fault of my own. But when I stood there, I go back to that. It was a lot of steps of being brave, accepting it. When God told me to stop paying my bills, I knew the consequence. And I knew I had time. And then time was up. And I wasn't prepared, and a normal human being would have prepared for that. And that's what they said. You didn't pack your stuff? No. I lived every day like it was a regular day. I did not fear them coming to my door at any day. Until the day they came. And when I got back to my house, I pulled up to my house, and they're pulling all my shit out. And my kids are not there, and my dog's not there. They took him to the police station. And I'm crying at the guy, at the police officer, just make sure you get all that spiritual stuff. I need all that stuff. I need all that stuff safe. Please, please, please. You don't understand. And he tells me, I'm a pagan. I do understand. I said, I don't know what the fuck that means, bro, but I need that stuff. It was just stuff to me. I had this like altar and stuff, all my stuff I had collected. And I go to the police station and they want to, they spend like an hour fucking asking me all these questions. They think I'm being neglectful because they got to the house and I'm not there, and they want to see what the real deal is before they can, release my kids to me and my dog. So that's suspenseful. I think they're going to take my kids on top of losing my house. But I'm like, no, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So they let me take the kids. I get back to the house and everybody's raided all my shit. It's been hours. It's in bags. I'm crying. I'm trying to just grab what I can, but my mind is so fucked. It's fucked, bro. It is so fucked right now about how this shit's down. I'm buying a tablet so I can auto-write for POC when they call me. I'm fully unprepared for this, and I'm scared. I don't have much money. I think I have like no money, maybe $100, maybe less than that. I don't know. And I grab what I can from my bags. I try to call my dad because he's the closest thing, and he gives me all this shit. And he's like, no, you're not fucking coming to my house. I'll put you in a hotel. How the fuck could you let this happen? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you on fucking drugs? What the fuck is wrong with you? And he just starts pounding me, and it makes everything worse, dude. I'm panicking. I'm like, I can't go around him. I can't deal with him. He's gonna make this worse. And my spirit just says to go to Mr. Plum, 12 hours away. And I go. And when I get there and I open up my bags, I'm really grateful that I made it out with, the kids have clothes. We have underwear. We have almost everything that they need. I'm still shattered, bro. I just lost my life. And I get to study. I sit there and I tell him, Mr. Plum's like, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry. I was like, I know, Mr. Plum. He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, God told me to sit here, Mr. Plum, and he's going to tell me what to do to get out of here. I just need to sit for a little bit, please, Mr. Plum. He's like, you want to put the kids in school? I said, no, he didn't tell me to do that, Mr. Plum. It's like the end of the year. He said not to do that. He said, you just need to sit here. And I start burning incense, and setting up all this spiritual stuff that I bought up there that I'm not really familiar with. Out the same book I told you the other day. This book. And I start learning oracles and healing. I still have my first pair of tarot that I showed you earlier. Where's those? We had to put them away to learn quantum tarot. I'm starting to learn all this spiritual stuff that I have. But in essence, I'm doing a lot of healing. I'm sitting still, and I'm in that stillness, which they call meditation, because I can't do anything. My life is shattered. I'm spending a lot of time just sitting still with what has happened in my life. And when I sit still, I activate all of these memories that are gone. And that's what that true post is. It's like when you meditate too long and you access fucking 15, 30 years of fucking trauma. That's been kind of how this has been working since the beginning. In the beginning, before I left my house, God spoke to me and he said something. He said, I'm going to put you places. There's going to be people there. They're not going to be able to help you. All you're going to have is the clothes on your back. And you're going to have to stay there until the job is done. That's all he told me before he sent me out into the big world. And I went from place to place with no knowing. I stayed at Mr. Plum's for, 3 weeks. And then I went up to Wisconsin. God woke me up one morning on LILITH's birthday and said, you're not going with them. So they kicked me out. I said, I got kicked out of there. He said, go home. Go to Colorado. I spent one night in Colorado. He said, go to California. On my way to California, I ended up getting directed to Northern California. I spent 3 weeks there. From there, I was guided back to Colorado. I had nowhere to go. He told me to go to Chris's house. Chris opened his door and I lived there for 9 months. But it was in my childhood fucking neighborhood, so it brought up all my childhood pains. And I sat there for 9 months healing myself. From there, some guy knocks on the door and says we got to be out by Friday or by Monday, and puts us in a hotel. We stay there, 3 months with me working and keeping it together, but I can't anymore. And God says, go back to Mr. Plums. I get down there. The first week, I've got a job and housing set up. God takes my car. I get the job. God tells me to quit the job, start to work on my spirituality. God tells me to ditch it, come back to Colorado, go camping in the fucking woods. So I do that. While I'm camping in the woods and it's the end of the season, God says, go to Arizona. I go to Arizona. I stay there in a shelter for, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks maybe. I get myself kicked out of there because of the healing and everything that's going on, and plus I did some witchcraft. God says, go to Las Vegas. And I camp out in Boulder City in Las Vegas. And that's where all that happens, and I'm crying, and I said, what do I do now, God? He tells me to come back home. So I'm going to end up in my car, God. I said, yep. I was in my car until I got my taxes in April, May. I had this big plan to take this money and buy a freaking trailer. I had a friend that was going to take the trailer down. I had got a job at a KOA, and I was going to work there with my trailer. And then they called me here. And I took all that money and I invested it into my car, my kids, my family, because we've been poor for fucking months, for years. And I've been here for this many months. And God's getting ready to move me again. Or not, because he promised me he wouldn't move me for the school year. I'm in a place that as long as I can maintain something, I could stay that long in this place, but I'm not sure if that's true. It's been a long journey. He puts me in places and I just have to sit there and deal with myself and what's happened to me my whole life. Why he takes care of the world around me. And if it wasn't this way, I wouldn't be better, because there's not a round-the-clock care team that could have fixed me. Because as you hear these stories, bro, there was a lot to be fixed. It was a lifetime. Some people have certain childhood traumas that fuck them up. Some have teen years. Some have, young adult years. I kept going. I kept having trauma my whole life. And I can't fix it in a couple of days or a couple of years. It comes in when things are calm and quiet, when I can deal with it. But in order to deal with it, I have to completely relive it. And for me, it's the first time I've ever seen it. It's the first time I've ever seen it, the first time I'm ever feeling it. Sometimes I have to relive them over and over because I pull out too fast and I don't want to sit in it. So earlier, I relived a memory of getting beat, of when I ended my first marriage. Getting beat, trying to remember. In that moment, I'm just trying to remember how long he knocked me out for. That's all. I stopped at that memory, but there was much more behind that memory. So after the day and I woke up, those memories are still there. I've opened that memory. I opened the doorway to that fucking reality that I completely forgot. And that's what happened when I was outside. All those memories came flooding in of a life I lived that I completely forgot. All the ups and downs of it. That's how I'm qualified to teach you how to do it. But again, I don't have a choice to mine. I don't think any of you really do. I take it very serious because I have to. If I don't deal with this, I won't go back to feeling good again. It clouds my thoughts. It consumes me. When I see something that's happened to me that I never saw before, and now I feel it, and I feel how awful it is to be me and how this played out. I have lots of questions, and I gotta work through this. It doesn't just go away. When I tell a story like that, it doesn't just go away. I can't make it go away. I have to work through it for it to go away. And the documentary is filled with those, because that's all I do. All I did through all this journey was healing. That's what qualifies me as your spiritual healer. I use spirituality to heal the mind and the emotions. Mine. But through me, I teach you how to do it for you. And it's Friday. It's on time. Why Friday? Venus. Venus rules the heart, and the heart is ruled by Friday. So when that fucking energy comes through, it pushes all your pain to the surface. If I was filled with love, it'd push all the love out. And it does. I'm in a great loving moment until all the darkness creeps in. I can't deal with it all at once. It comes in layers, like a fucking onion. What activates it usually is people in my current reality. So this person is attacked. This person has been brought in, not person, place, or thing has been brought in no more than to activate. And that's what I'm seeing. Morgan and her problems with her baby daddy and all this shit. It was all triggering it. It was all bringing it to the surface. Why? Because you need to face it. It's hidden. It's pain. It's hidden in you. It needs to come up. That emotional clearing. For me, everything is repressed. My repressed memories are 39 years of my life. When I woke up, I only had a few. The only good one was Bobby. I had a good feeling about him. It's turned out to be nothing but a fucking torture fest going through it. But, that's where it is I'd get these memories and I'd go looking for answers and just find the pain that I ran from to begin with. I asked when this was gonna stop, and all I get is the marathon continues, and this is what the book is made of. For me to be a relevant healer for the rest of my life, I'd have to be doing relevant healing. In essence, who's the guinea pig? Myself. My purpose aligns with my purpose. The purpose is that I'm here is to resolve my karma. The purpose that I'm here is to teach others how to resolve their karma. How do we resolve it? Because we resolve it just like this, processing it. What has been done to us and going through the learning of it and the overcoming of it so that you don't have to learn that again and go through that again. That's karma. So I teach you that. But I have to learn my own to teach you. I can't teach you your karma. I can only teach you mine and how karma works. With that being said, I had a nice cry, did you? Therapy. That's what it is. I do shadow work. What's shadow? Intensive inner child trauma healing. We deal with repressed memories and emotions. Want to sit down and talk about your childhood? Where'd we date to? 15. We're right there in my adolescence. We're starting there. As you can see, it travels on. It carries on. That trauma needs to be identified this weekend for me to go on. Why? I don't know. Obviously, I'm not very empathetic, is what they said. The answer's in the fucking answer's in the question. All right. Welcome to the jungle. Well, hopefully I don't wake up, so awful. I'm fucking beat up right now. And that's what it is. You travel through time. You really go back to the memory. You close your eyes and you can see yourself and you can feel what it be, and you can't get out of it. You're there. There's a lot of time and space. And a lot of shitty memories. I'm hearing is the Usher song. It's like, oh yeah, I told you that too. Yeah, dude, it really happened. Twice? I swear to God, 10 years difference. Swear to God, bro. I swear to God, it happened to me twice. They had other women with babies, bro. Yup. I tried to do the right thing the second baby. I didn't become Amy's friend at all, but I recognized that her child and my children were brother and sister. So when I went into Oklahoma, I made attempts to, work that out, to be the bigger person. I really did. I have pictures of them and stuff. I would invite them over. The girl was kind of snobby, bro. My kids don't like her. They talked about her. We had a hard life, and I tried to explain that to him. I was like, dude, she's got her own brothers and sisters she has to fight for, and she's the off child and all that. Leave her alone. And then she's trying to compete with the city kids, which are you. You guys come down, and I do this all the time. Make sure that you guys look like superstars and shit. And she don't feel right, and you guys, no wonder she's mean to you. But yeah, we brought her over, I think, Christmas. Bought her a bunch of gifts. She spent the night with at Mr. Plum's with me and the kids. I'm a trustworthy person. You're like, damn, the other mother. Yeah, why wouldn't she? That was way before I was a fucking priestess. I was always a good fucking mother, bro. You don't gotta play games like that. All these kids, dude, they know their fucking kids are safe with me, bro. But yeah, I met her. She met me in, I don't know, I was on my way to Dallas and she met me and she brought her to the hotel and we went swimming and stuff. I think we went out to CC's Pizzas and shit. I know how to fucking coexist with that. He just wasn't a father to either of her kids, I guess. And I mean, ultimately, yeah, that's fucked up. For real, for real. I didn't see her that time when I was in Oklahoma. I didn't try either. I didn't want to be part of it. Why? Because I just didn't. I didn't feel like it was necessary to be part of anything like that while I was down there. She knew I was, though, apparently. It's such a small town, bro. They knew. They fucking knew. I couldn't drive that far. Dude, the whole fucking town, I knew who I was and why I was there. And what I was, which is a witch. And that was good enough. God's gonna take you through it. And in essence, you listen to that story of all that travel. Why? Because in essence, you do need to get away from it. You need to get away. And really, he didn't. He took me straight into it. Every time. Every time he took me into Oklahoma, I had to deal with, my children and all of that, my baby daddy. That was his town, his family, everything. I had to keep dealing with baby daddy when I was down there, right? My ex-husband. When I got to Yuma, that made me face, the first one. Not as much as I did just today, but it made me face the first one and all those memories of California, right? When I got up to the Bay Area, I had to face the memories of my brothers and my sisters and how deep that wound went. You know what I mean? When I got into my childhood neighborhood, I had to face my fucking childhood, right? All of this shit. When God's putting me around fucking, around Bobby's neighborhood, I have to face him. When God's putting me in Aurora, I have to remember Tree. When he's putting me around the fucking studio, I have to remember all these things, dude. All these things that hurt, all these people that hurt me and I ran from. You can't run from your healing. But when you're ready, he's going to put it right in your face. And that's what he's trying to do. Somebody's coming back. I'm not going to rip your head off. But you better know what you're dealing with and be sensitive to the fact that I just don't want to fucking play games. I don't want to use that much of my brain power to try to figure out where you're coming from and what you the fuck you want. I spent all that time with Twin Flame X trying to figure out where the fuck he was coming from and what the fuck he wanted. Only that he wanted me to prove that I was going to be his something. I don't have to prove myself. Actions speak louder than words. And that goes both ways. You want to prove something to me, then act upon it. Or quit acting. I don't know. I don't mean to be pessimistic. I'm obviously in the dark night of the soul, and even when I'm in my darkest pits of pain, I can still be empathetic, as I showed. I'm going to deal with myself. You deal with yourself. Tomorrow's Friday, the fucking 4th of July, your Independence Day. I hope you free yourself from that's no longer serving you. Hey, look, I did my job for tomorrow. Our Independence Day. I hope you are. I hope you find out what it is that you need to break free from. Love yous. Laters. Bye.